Hey, what's going on, everybody? Commander Crane here, and we are back with another Pioneer deck tech, and today we're going to be talking about Golgari Delerium Demons. I am very excited to share this very spicy list with you. As always, at the end of the video, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about the list? Is there a specific card that I definitely should have included in this list? Or do you have suggestions for upcoming videos? Just let me know in the comment sections. Okay, so the new set, Duskmourn, has a ton of fantastic Delirium cards in this set. There's a combination of like artifact creatures that kind of help mill the graveyard, but also a lot of good Delirium payoffs. So what really made me inspire to build this deck was Demonic Council and Unholy Annex / Ritual Chamber. When I saw these cards, I thought, okay, we could definitely do a demon deck, but what sort of demon deck should we do here on the channel? So, after looking at Demonic Council, definitely wanting to play that. I mean, it's a demonic tutor if you have Delirium, which is just absolutely fantastic. I thought, okay, we definitely have to make this card work, so we can build a Delirium shell with a bunch of demons, just because obviously Unholy Annex and Ritual Chamber are absolutely fantastic cards, especially in a demon deck. So I'm like, okay, what else could we actually do? And I really like the deck that we built here today. So first, let's go ahead and take a look at the demons that we're actually playing in this deck, because after all, that's why you clicked on this video. So we're playing 1 Blade of the Oni, 2 Demon of Catastrophes, and 4 Mind Rack Demons. So Blade of the Oni, we just played as a one-of. It's a cheap target to grab with Demonic Tutor. If in a pinch we need to have just a cheap creature, we can grab the Blade of the Oni. It's also nice because it is an artifact creature, so it kind of helps with the Delirium a little bit. We're also playing 2 copies of Demon of Catastrophe, so it'll make sense why we're playing this in a second, why it synergizes with our deck, but essentially it's just a 6/6 flying trampler for 4 mana. That's why I decided to play it. We only have to sacrifice a creature, which again is not going to be that bad for us. And then Mind Rack Demon is just really sweet. It's actually the background, the thumbnail we've got there. The thumbnail is the alt art one, and then this one's just the regular art from the set. So Mind Rack Demon, flying trample, 4/5. When it enters the battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard, and then at the beginning of our upkeep, we lose 4 unless there are 4 more card types among cards in our graveyard, which guess what? We're going to have Delirium, so we're not really going to be taking 4 damage from Mind Rack Demon. So it's just a 4/5 for 4 with flying and trample that helps mill, and just kind of helps with the Delirium in general. So definitely a huge fan of the Mind Rack Demon. So what other cards are we actually playing in this deck? So these are the cards that are going to help us get Delirium. 4 Citrus Supplier, 2 Patchwork Beastie, and 4 Satyr Wayfinder. So Citrus Supplier is definitely my favorite thing to sacrifice to the Demon of Catastrophes, just because it's when it enters the battlefield or it dies, you get to do that. Patchwork Beastie is also really good, just because, once again, it's an artifact creature, so it definitely helps with it. And it's a nice continuous mill, which is definitely really good. And it's a 3/3 for 1 mana. Sure, it can't attack or block unless we get to Delirium, but as soon as we get Delirium, boom, it's a 3/3 for 1 mana. And then Satyr Wayfinder is also fantastic. I was originally playing Grisly Salvage, but as soon as I decided to play the Demon of Catastrophes, I decided to put in Satyr Wayfinder instead as an extra way to be able to sacrifice a creature to the Demon of Catastrophe. So it all kind of makes sense a little bit there. So the rest of the deck, as it goes, is just a pretty standard, Golgari midrange deck. So we're playing 4 Fatal Push, 2 Drag to the Roots, and 1 Crippling Fear is our main removal. Drag to the Roots is fantastic. If we have Delirium, it's a 2 mana destroy target non-land permanent. I mean, that's just absolutely fantastic. A lot of value in that, but we're just playing the 2 copies. The 1 of Crippling Fear, simply put, I wanted a board wipe that our demons could survive, and we're playing just a 1-of because of the demonic, I'm already forgetting the name of it, but basically the Delirium demonic tutor, excuse me. So that's why we're playing just the 1 Crippling Fear. We name Demon, and then all non-demons get -3/-3, so it's just really good against those quick and fast aggro decks. And then rounding out our deck, we're also playing 4 Thoughtseize and 2 Liliana of the Veil. Thoughtseize is Thoughtseize, pretty self-explanatory. And then Liliana of the Veil, we're playing really just to help with the Delirium. I wanted to put in a couple Planeswalkers, so that's why we're playing Liliana of the Veil. So that's the entire main board. Let's go and hop into the lands real quick. Land-based is pretty simple as well. 4 Blooming Marsh, 4 Overgrown Tomb, and 2 Llanowar Waste as our main dual lands. We're also playing 4 Darkbar Pathway, 2 Restless Cottage, and just 1 Cavern of Souls. Once again, we're going to name Demon with that pretty much every time. We're also playing 2 Field of Ruin, 1 Boseiju, and 1 Takenuma. And then rounding out our lands, we are playing 3 Swamps and 1 Forest. And obviously, as our spicy basic land of the day, we had to include the Duskmourn full arts. Huge fan of this art in general, and it's also got, I always forget how to pronounce it. It's like Vagelvoth or Valgavoth or something. It's kind of in the background there, which is a demon, so it kind of makes sense, you know, that we're playing these specific basic lands. So don't go anywhere yet. We still have to talk about our sideboard as well as some budget options for the deck. So sideboarding is going to be really simple. Graveyard Hate, play Leyline of the Void. It helps with our enchantment cost to be able to have Delerium, but it also doesn't hurt our own graveyard. So just play Leyline of the Void. Extra discard, definitely pack a couple extra copies of Duress or some Go Blanks. I think both are fantastic options. Deadly Cover-Up. I put that on there specifically just because I think it's probably the next best board wipe that we could play. We could play Eat to Extinction as well, but I really like Deadly Cover-Up just because we can, I'm already forgetting the name of that, but we can exile cards from our graveyard and then we can like get all the copies of something out of their deck out, which is just really fantastic. It's not Discover, I'm already forgetting the name of it. But anyways, and then Tear Asunder. So the reason I put Tear Asunder on here specifically is because it exiles a target artifact or enchantment, or we can kick it for 1 and a black to exile any non-land permanent. So since we're a Delirium deck, people are going to be bringing in Graveyard Hate cards against us, like Rest in Peace and Leyline of the Void, so you're definitely going to want some removal that'll help take care of that. The other thing is Drag to the Roots can do that, but if they play Rest in Peace and exile or Graveyard, then it's a 4-mana removal spell. So that's why I specifically have the Tear Asunders in the sideboard to help us deal with the anti-Graveyard Hate, which is definitely very, very important. And then the last thing we have to talk about is the budget options for this deck, which is really simple. Play budget dual lands, you know, just take out the Overgrown Tombs, play more Land of War Waste, play more Temple of Maladies, something like that. That's really all you have to do. You also can swap out Thoughtseize and Liliana. I think in my list, I think I swapped it out for Duress and Vraska Golgari Queen is what I'm pretty sure I did. But the current list as it's built right now is only $271 US, which is pretty cheap for a Pioneer deck, especially a Golgari midrange deck, just because midrange decks typically tend to be the most expensive decks in the format. But the budget list, I was able to get it down to $85 US. I don't think any of the sideboard changed. It's just some of the dual lands, Thoughtseize, and Liliana. That's all I changed for the deck. All the demons are still staying. The removal spells are still the same. Everything else is the same. It's just the dual lands, which is really, really cool. So if you love demons or you like Golgari mid-range piles, I think this would definitely be a really, really sweet deck for you to play. You know, obviously, the Golgari midrange decks, they typically play like Shieldred and some other, you know, pretty cool, 4 and 5 drops and stuff to be able to end the game. But who doesn't like winning the game with flying, trampling demons? I mean, that is just really, really cool. It's kind of oddball. You typically don't see that very often. So, definitely a huge fan of this deck. And let me know in the comment section below if you do end up building this deck. And that takes us to the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching. The deck lists are in the description below if you'd like to check them out for yourself. Huge shout out to our channel members Ralph, Matt, Arcadius, Ray, Gary, and Sarwanoki. If you're interested in being a channel member, it's only $1 US a month. You get access to the exclusive Discord as well as other features here on the channel. So, I'm Commander Crane. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to catch you in the next one.